Fool's prank this year. I did a review of this movie, Lupin III, The Secret of Mamo. In that video, I received a comment saying that I only saw the Pioneer dub, to which I asked, how many dubs are there? Apparently, there are 4 of them. Now, very similar to the Castle of Cagliostro, Disco Media released all 4 of these dubs on one DVD. I wish I knew this before I bought the Pioneer version, but oh well. Hindsight is always 20/20. So, brief history of the dubs. I'm going to be using visual aids here rather than actual releases, as they are all on just this one. The first one to get released all the way back in 1979 by Toho, so as such I will be referring to this as the Toho dub. Like a lot of these older dubs, it was meant to be shown on Japanese Airlines, or JAL for short. But this one was a bit of an exception as it was screened in select theaters. What's rather fascinating about this dub is that there are no voice credits on any copy that exists. As such, the fallibility of who actually supplied the voices to these characters is still a mystery, and some have even been lost to the sands of time entirely. Now, a few voice actors have come forward to say who did their roles, which I have a Wikipedia page here which speculates who did them or just takes their word for it, so these will be the names that I will be referring to. It's important to note that this one is considered the most accurate to the original script, even though there were a few name changes. So Jigen became Dan Dunn, Fugiko became Margot, Goemon became Samurai, and Zenigata became Detective Ed Scott. However, the name of Lupin is still present in this dub. Due to copyright issues, though, the Toho dub would never receive a commercial release. This news was overheard by Carl Masick. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because he was the director of many of the streamlined dubs for many of the Ghibli films, such as My Neighbor Totoro. This is the only one I actually have a physical copy for. The others only exist in digital, so that's why I'm using this visual aid. Now, what's fascinating is he just got finished dubbing the Castle of Cagliostro when he heard this news. So, many of the actors in the streamlined version of this film did reprise their role for the mystery of Mamo. Now, the third dub is really interesting. This is just the back of the Castle of Cagliostro to make it easier to look at. This third dub was released by Manga UK for PAL regions. Now, without getting into the specifics of the difference between NTSC and PAL, all you just need to know is that one is for Europe and one is for the United States, as well as Japan, I want to say. As to why this release was given, I'm still not entirely sure of. I figured being released by Manga UK, then people would have a rather thick British accent whenever they talked, but it's really just another English dub. Now, just as a side note, the version of the Castle of Cagliostro that I have here was simply released by manga on its own. So after that dub, we jump ahead a few years, and that is where we get to the final one, the Pioneer dub. Now here's the very interesting thing to note. So the voice of Lupin in this film is Tony Oliver. He also supplied the voice for Lupin III in the first. And on top of that, he also supplied the voice of Lupin III II, which is known as the Red Jacket era. So I guess if Lupin is wearing the red jacket, Tony Oliver is going to be the voice of him. Now, since I have actually seen clips of this movie on YouTube, unaltered, I hopefully won't have to break out the old black and white TV to actually get around copyright issues this time. As such, I'm going to be trying to use visual cues instead. The Toho dub, I will be using a brown and white filter.
Have you finished with your history lesson?
Don't be funny. I'm not studying because I like it. You know that stone is not just a simple little pebble, don't you?
For the streamlined dub, I'm going to be using a black and white filter.
These guys are sure persistent. We'll just have to reach our hideout on foot. It's only about 20 kilometers from here.
For the manga dub, I'm going to be using a slate filter.
Big dope. Why didn't you bring Fugiko with us and make her talk?
It would have only gotten in the way, that's why.
There are other color filters but they would really distort the picture and kind of make it an unpleasant watching experience. So that's why it's going to be variations of black and white between the two. And then the Pioneer footage, since it's the newest, will be in color.
Hey, the road's over there! Shut up! Huh?
So just a few quick notes before we get started. The first thing to mention is I have a slight bias against the streamline version. Frankly, I just wasn't a big fan of Bob Bergen's performance in The Castle of Cagliostro. Both pretty similar reactions.
Did you understand our situation here?
But maybe he'll win me over this time. Also, the Pioneer dub was the dub I experienced this movie for the first time in. And I'm convinced, no matter how good or how bad a dub is, whichever one you see first, you're going to have a bit more of an emotional attachment for it. Probably going to like it a bit more. However, I will do my best to be objective, just like in my other reviews. With that out of the way, let's begin. After a really long flight of stairs, and the hanging of Lupin III, we get the coroner's report.
The coroner's report came on the telex from Transylvania. They had done an autopsy and claimed that there is no doubt whatsoever that the executed man was the real Lupin III. But I was one detective who refused to believe it. I had to see for myself.
Right away, you can tell that this Toho dub was not very well preserved. True, it's audible, but the sound is much fuzzier than any of the other dubs. I can't complain. For my knowledge, this went through severe restoration before it even got to this point. At least it exists.
The coroner's report came over the telex from Transylvania. They'd performed an autopsy on the prisoner they'd hanged. Fingerprints, dental records, the whole ball of wax. The report left no doubt whatsoever that the dead man was the real Lupin III. But I wasn't buying it. Not until I'd seen his cold, stiff body with my own eyes.
Pretty similar to the Toho dub, but a bit more so. Before we go to the manga dub, I should warn you that, like the Castle of Cagliostro that came before it, this one has a lot more swearing.
The coroner's report came through from Transylvania on the telex. There was a whole lot of bullshit about Transylvanian justice and stringing people up. But here's the bit that interested me. There is no doubt whatever that the man we executed was in fact the real Wolf III. But I was one detective who wouldn't bet his trench coat on a Transylvanian telex.
I think the swearing kind of works. Adds a bit of edge that is obviously present in the animation of Zenigata's face. For the Pioneer dub, I should note I captured the footage from the other DVD that I have. As such, you will notice the opening is actually written in English. Regardless, though, they took a very different turn than the others. That's right. Complete silence. I will definitely say, after watching all 4 of these, I was disappointed that they didn't have Zenigata laughing like a madman. You know, something like this. Yeah, I'm not quitting my day job, but I digress.
Lupin, trying to live forever by doing the same thing as Count Dracula. You've gone too far this time. There are limits to everything.
Who do you think you are, Count Dracula? Well, I read the book, and Dracula gets his in the end, just like you're gonna get yours. Here, let me treat you to a nice steak dinner.
Hiya, wolf buddy. I know what you're up to, but I ain't buying your innocent undead Dracula act, okay? You've met your match in me.
Give it a rest, Lupin, will you? All right, now let's see just how far you're willing to take this little charade. All the way to the grave!
Maybe I'm just a bigger fan of Greg Starr's performance, but I feel the Toho dub really sells how mad Zenigata has become. Also appears that the Pioneer dub is the odd one out again with the lack of Dracula reference. Gotta give some love to the Streamline dub, though, for that line about the steak dinner.
Mr. Ed Scott, the same old menacing detective.
Lupin! Lupin! Don't you know you're supposed to be dead?
So it seems, and that's what's been troubling me.
This man is definitely the real Lupin III. I'm positive of it.
You make it sound simple. So what's going to happen to me now?
I want to be sure you're dead. Yeah!
Why, Detective Zenigata, long time no see, old man.
Lupin! You're dead! Wait a second, that stiff in the coffin, that was you, right?
So they say. I'm a little confused myself.
They guaranteed that you were deader than a doornail. There wasn't a shadow of a doubt.
It's news to me. Frankly, I've never felt better in my life.
Well, just hold still a second and we can fix that.
Yeah, surely you didn't expect me to fall for that pointed stake stuff.
Whoa! You're alive! It's not what you're supposed to be.
Seems not. I find it all very confusing.
Yes, you definitely are Wolf the Third. I'm positive of that.
I'm not denying it, but that doesn't get us very far.
I'm gonna make certain you're dead. Yeah!
Yeah, the old exploding Lupin trick, and you fell for it.
I'd like to think that's a reference to Get Smart. It kinda works, but the show would have been 10 years old at this point.
Lupin! You're alive! But you died last spring!
Yeah, I know. I heard that rumor, too.
Huh! So you're telling me that you had nothing to do with it, huh?
I'm really just as mystified as you are, Pops.
What kind of fool do you think I am?
Whoa, hey, take it easy!
I just love the way Tom Clark says detective in the Toho dub. But I feel the Streamline dub had the better writing. Not that both the manga dub and the Pioneer dub both state that the steak would have been just too easy of a demise.
Old man, you'll have to tell me all your troubles some other time.
Hate to cut this short, but dead or alive, I think it's time I got out of here.
Bye-bye. Sorry, but I'll have to hear your life story another time.
What the hell are you up to?
Oh, I'd say at least several hundred feet with any luck. See ya!
What the hell?
Seems like all the dubs have the same sentiment. However, I'm not a fan of William Durfer saying bye-bye. The Pioneer dub is still sticking with its uniqueness with these added lines. It's like they wanted to make up for the silence from before.
Take care now.
That bum! That rat! He's the real one, all right! So he's still alive. Really and truly alive! I won't die till I get him. I'll never give up. I'll follow you down to hell, and I'll engrave my name on all your stupid bones!
Now don't forget to write.
You little... I'll be writing rest in peace on your tombstone when I'm done with you. That lousy little thief. I knew he was still alive. You had everyone else falling for it. Not Zenigata. This is one detective you can't shake that easily. This is one guy who's gonna dog your every step to the very gates of hell.
You take care now.
You rat! I'm gonna take care, all right? I'm gonna take care of you. It doesn't matter how long it might take. Ha ha ha! You may think you've gotten away, Wolf, but you're up against a great detective. I'll follow you into the fire of hell, and when I catch you, I'll brand you with candle irons.
Watch that blood pressure.
Hey! Hey!
Bye, catch you later.
Damn it! Listen here! You can run all you want, but you can't hide forever! No, I knew it! I knew you were alive! Nobody understands you the way I do, Lupin! Not nobody! And I'm gonna catch you if it takes every last damn breath in my body! You hear that?
Fascinating that they all make an allusion to the gates of hell. However, like before, the Pioneer dub goes for a different approach. This next one is a really subtle change. When Zenigata pulls out his service pistol, it sounds a little different across the dubs. After the theme song, Zenigata goes to Egypt to stop Lupin's next heist.
Oh? You mean all that happened while you were off duty?
First, it was a rare and ancient medicine taken from the museum in Peking, China. And then the herb Madragla was taken from the ancient castle of Count Dracula.
And you think he's going to come here to Egypt next? But coming to our country doesn't necessarily mean that he will...
It's bound to be the Pharaoh's tomb. My sixth sense is so sharp, it scares even me.
I still don't understand what makes you think he's coming here to Egypt.
It's a long and complicated story. First, he stole an ancient and rare elixir from a museum in Beijing, China. Then this mandrake root from a castle in Transylvania.
And now you believe he's headed for the Great Pyramid, eh? Pardon me, Detective, but I don't see a connection here.
I told you it was complicated. Trust me, I'm never wrong about him. I know he'll be there.
It sounds to me as if you had quite an interesting time on your vacation.
I followed the trail of the ancient medicine stolen in China, and that led me to the herb Mandragora kept in the castle of Dracula. It all makes perfect sense.
And you're expecting him to come here to Egypt next? Do you have a theory why he might honor us with his company?
Yeah, bound to be the Pharaoh's tomb. My sixth sense is so sharp, it scares me.
If this is some kind of intelligence test, I'm afraid I'm flunking it.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain. You see, first he lifted this old potion bottle from a museum in China. Then this mandrake root from some castle in Transylvania.
And what thing inside the Great Pyramid could possibly be connected to these items here?
I can't explain it right now, but I got a hunch about this. A strong one!
It amazes me that across all four dubs, the items stolen and the location they were stolen from are pretty much the same. However, I find it odd that the whole idea of the sixth scent are only in the Toho and manga dubs.
How is it?
Everything's normal.
You can't ask for better protection than this for that imitation jewelry in the tomb. I'm aware of all that!
Lupin is after something we don't know about. It can't be just ordinary treasure, but... See that? We've got a reaction!
It could be just a mouse.
Anything?
No movement at all, sir. You couldn't ask for any tighter security than this. I only hope it's worth our while.
Hey, cut me some slack here, will ya? I'm telling you, Lupin's going after something in the Pharaoh's tomb. I don't know what it is, but it's no ordinary treasure. There, that's gotta be him. He stripped the alarm.
It might just be a mouse.
Not only does the alarm sound different in this one, but Zenigata's outburst seems far more justified.
How's it going?
Nothing to report. Are you impressed by all the precautions we've taken? And the treasure's fake anyway.
Don't tell the whole world it's fake! Even if it wasn't fake, Wolf wouldn't go after ordinary treasure. There's something there we don't know about, and he does. Bingo! There's someone breaking into the tomb!
Could be a pesky mouse.
Anything?
No, nothing yet, sir.
Oh, well, Inspector, at least we tried. We all make mistakes.
Hey, just hold your damn horses! There's something inside that tomb that Lupin wants. I may not know what it is or even... Ah! Now, what do you think tripped the alarm?
Well, it's something big.
No mention of a mouse in the Pioneer dub. Odd that the Toho dub and the manga dub share the idea of the treasure being fake, though.
You think I touched it?
Not good. Let's hurry.
How can you hurry through all this?
Did we touch it? Afraid so. We better hurry. You know you can't just hurry through a setup like this.
Did I break the beam? Who knows? Let's just hurry. If we hurry, we won't make it, that's for sure.
Did I do what I think I did?
Oh, yeah. We're screwed now.
It's just at the end of this passage.
Gotta give prompts to the streamlined dub and the manga dub for putting in the heavy breathing. Funny that in the manga dub and the Pioneer dub, Jigen seems very unconcerned about breaking the beam.
80 centimeter width.
Okay. Lupin.
Huh?
What about that execution?
Well, you see, the one who they executed was probably the real me.
I don't like to hear weird stories like that.
Neither do I. This whole thing begins to make me think I'm not real. Anyway, I'll fix that.
Give me 80 centimeters. Right. Lupin? What now? So who was that guy they hanged in Transylvania anyway? Well, it was me. That's what all the evidence says. He had my DNA, my fingerprints, everything. I hate hearing weird stuff like that. You and me both. It's enough to shake a guy's confidence. And at the rate we're going, I'm starting to wonder if maybe he was the real Lupin. Now you tell me.
Max width, 80 centimeters. Okay. Hey, Wolf. Huh? Tell me about the hanging. What's to tell about the hanged man in Transylvania? It's probably the real me. Probably. That sounds kind of weird. Yes, it does, doesn't it? Now I've started to get the distinct impression. This me ain't real at all. And that's some identity crisis.
80 centimeters.
Okay. So Lupin. That guy they executed last spring? Who the hell do you think he was really?
He looked like me. Our fingerprints were identical. He even had my DNA, supposedly.
Yeah, I know all that.
Look, I don't know. The whole thing's really weird and extremely creepy. Maybe we should just drop it for now.
Yeah, okay.
Once again, very consistent across all 4 of the dubs.
First unit takes the south level. The second and third guard unit will take the north passage. Detective Scott, on what authority are you giving orders? You'd better have faith in my sixth sense. I know Lupin's in there. Forward! Charge!
I'm amazed to see they added effects to when Detective Ed Scott uses the megaphone. Oftentimes, it's just the normal voice. Looks like they even got it right back in 1979.
All right, the first unit take the north passage. The rest of you take the south portal in case he tries to make a run for it.
Not so fast, Detective Zenigata. Who put you in command?
Stay out of my way. I got a job to do here. Lupin's in there. I can smell him. Forward, men. Charge. Go, go, go.
Unit 1, cover the south level. Units 2 and 3, take the north passage.
Listen, Zenigata, I'm in charge of these troops and I insist.
Hear this, Captain. It's me that tracked him here.
north side, and no, let me see. If your last name starts with A to L...
Who the hell put you in charge of this operation, huh?
It was the guy who invented the megaphone! Remember, he's the Weasley guy with long sideburns. Now go, 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 go!
I'm giving it to the streamlined dub on this one. I just love the idea that they were able to time the voice with the motion of the hand. I feel like that was kind of lost in a lot of the other dubs. Also, is it just me, or did they make Zenigata a complete idiot in the Pioneer dub? After obtaining the Philosopher's Stone, referred to as the Wise Man's Stone in some of the dubs, Lupin arranges a meeting with Fugiko, or Margot if you're watching the Toho dub.
Lupin? It's Lupin!
You're so beautiful, Margot.
Stop joking now, Lupin.
My love is like a red, red rose.
Lupin.
A rose is a rose. By any other name would smell as sweet.
What is this, English Lit 101?
Wolfie?
The lovely Fugiko, unless I'm much mistaken.
Flattery will get you anything you want. Not?
Flattery? How can you be so unfair when the soft breezes of Paris have melted my icy heart?
Lupin?
Alas, only what's left of him.
What exactly is that supposed to mean?
It means, my dear Fugiko, that you are a rose, and I have been pricked by the thorn of your indifference.
The thorn of my indifference? Oh, brother.
Seems like the Streamline and the manga dub had a competition between who could have the most over-the-top accent, with the manga dub being the clear-cut winner. As for the voice of Fugiko, take your pick. For my money, I'm giving it to Eddie Merman. She is able to sound beautiful, but also threatening at the same time.
You think I'm joking? The soft breeze of Paris must have melted my callous heart. I thought I made myself extremely conspicuous tonight.
I can see that. You look very nice.
Oh, the fragrant flower. You are like a rose.
How old-fashioned.
Even the pain of thy thorns gives great pleasure to the love in my heart. Oh, Margot.
Enough of that stupid act. Let's get down to business now.
How like a rose thou art. Oh, your beauty dazzles my eyes. Your thorns pierce my heart. And that stuff didn't come out of any book, by the way. I made that part up all by myself.
Don't give up your day job, okay? Shouldn't we get down to business?
I long to undress thee, Fugiko, petal by petal.
Great, now he's getting obscene.
I long to plant thee in my garden of love, water thee with my tears, and fertilize thee with my kisses, Fugiko.
Enough with the fertilizer, Lupin. Get that bud out of my face before I plant it.
I thought a little smooth dressing would set the tone for an evening of beauty that matches your own.
You quaint old-fashioned boy. However, I do get the message.
Oh, the beauty of this flower doth pale beside Fugiko.
Wolf, cut the crap, eh?
Oh, there is pain in the prick of thy thorn, but even that pain brings pleasure unto my soul.
Wolf, this is getting boring, so do me a favor and let's get down to business.
I honestly can't tell if that breath was intentional or if the poor guy just had way too many lines.
Fatally pricked and now almost completely wasted away, my darling.
Fatally pricked, huh? You gotta love karma.
Yet, there is still one thing that could save me.
What might that be?
If your petal-like lips would but caress my own unworthy sad ones, I might yet survive my love.
I would, but you know you'd just prick yourself all over again.
Once again, I am giving it to the Streamline dub. I feel like Bob Bergen was able to capture the essence of Lupin in a very short sentence. Debonair, but also really obscene.
Can she be so hard? You really do have a lot of thorns, don't you?
I am in a hurry. Or perhaps, Lupin, you mean...
Don't be hasty. Look here.
Oh, Lupin, you did it!
So typical of the materialistic modern woman. All they want is expensive jewelry.
All I want is what we agreed to. What are you babbling about? Did you find the gemstone?
Does Santa Claus wear a red suit?
Oh, that's it, all right. Hand it over.
How can somebody have eyes burning with such deep passion, but be so cold to me?
It isn't remotely difficult, unless you weren't asking me to marry you, were you?
Don't be silly, but see what I've got?
Oh, you are a devil. Can I hold it?
Boy, you're all thorns, and after all I went through to get you that damn stone.
Now, don't try to make me feel all... Are you saying you actually did it, Lupin?
Why, of course. Here you are.
Wow, you really did it.
The line about the red suit just feels off. Both characters are adults, and I hope no kids are watching this movie. The manga dub also feels a little weird, with this idea of Fugiko wanting to marry Lupin. Always thought of them as either friends with benefits or competitors that just don't mind working with each other now and again. Let me skip ahead a little, as I only want to compare the voice of Fugiko here, rather than how hurt Lupin is by her.
Well, the deal was not to ask you questions, but now you must keep your part of the deal and keep your date with me.
Oh, that's right, too. I'm very sorry. I just got a little carried away. Wait now, I'll get ready.
So don't tell me it doesn't really matter. The fact remains that your part of the bargain was to go on a date with me, remember?
How could I forget? You silly. Aren't you just every girl's dream date? Just let me freshen up a bit.
Did you forget that we had an agreement as well? But if you want to call off our deal, well, that's fine.
Darling, how could you? You're cruel. How could you think I'd call off our deal? Wait, I'll just make myself pretty for you.
I got the thing for you, no questions asked, like who you're in business with or anything. And what did I ask for in return? A little human consideration, just the pretense that you care about me, but apparently it's too much to ask.
Darling, I was wrong. In fact, why should a gray guy like you settle for a couple of petals when you deserve the whole flower?
Pretty consistent across all four.
Hey, oh, it's all right. Don't put makeup on right now. If you keep me waiting too long, I might turn into a big wolf.
I'm not making you wait. I'm just looking for the right moment.
Why do you waste your time putting on that stuff, Fugiko? Frankly, you already look good enough to eat, and I'm ravenous.
Want to look my best? The least I could do for you.
That's a bit more like it. Only don't take too long, or your romantic wolf will turn into a wolf with pretty pointed fangs.
Down, boy. You won't have to wait long. I'm just picking my moment.
Huh?
You mean it? Really? That is, literally? Or are we still talking in metaphor, I mean?
The answer, dear, that is, if I understand you, is... Thank you.
Uncle, what you do to me?
Be a good boy for a little while. Bye-bye, Lupin.
Ain't a minute. Uncle.
Don't worry, it'll wear off.
Thanks for the jewel.
Hey, wait! Put it on our date! Hey!
Props to Bob Bergen. The idea that he was able to deliver all those lines with his mouth pretty much open, now that's dedication.
Hey, let's knock! I can't move! What? What kind of sense that, huh?
Strong, but it wears off quite soon. Be good.
I got a feeling I can can't. I got no girls.
Hey, Fugiko, what the hell you doing? Huh?
Don't be mad at me. Bye-bye.
Wait, Fugiko, hey, don't go.
Following a really thrilling chase sequence, Lupin and his crew retreat to their safe house to find it in ruins.
The weapons and food are all gone.
Thanks a lot. I can see that.
Lupin, forget that woman.
No weapons, no food, no nothing. They must have got here first. No kidding. So you don't think it was termites? It's obvious what happened.
No food, guns, or ammo. No nothing.
Thanks, Jigen. I really hadn't noticed.
Wolf, I'm just a little pissed off.
Food, weapons, whoever the hell these guys are, they're real thorough.
Yeah, this wasn't any accident.
Son of a bitch. Look, I'm just gonna spit it out. There's no other possible explanation. Somebody had to have tipped them off, and there's only one person that could be. This is it, man. You're just gonna have to choose between us and her.
This is it. I've had enough. I've reached my limit. And it must have been Margot who told them about this place of ours. If you don't drop her, I'm getting out of this deal right now.
Oh, stop joking.
Joking? I thought you were the one who was joking. It was a mistake to take this job from a female. And then, out of sheer vanity, you decide to accept evil in return for good.
We know who must have told him about this place. A certain redhead with a motorcycle and a skin-tight black leather jumpsuit on.
I personally thought she was a brunette, but I know what he's getting at.
She's nothing but bad luck. Either you dump her or you can count me out.
Will you give it a rest?
It is you who should give it a rest, Lupin. This infantile need to prove your virility is humiliating to behold. And dangerous. Your lust for this creature has blinded you to her true nature.
And I'm telling you, you've got to forget Fugiko. She must have shown the strong-arm boys in the mob this place, and they did the rest. It's time to make some painful choices. It's either Fugiko or me.
Don't tempt me.
Wolf's End. A samurai warrior cannot work for a female. You accepted the commission to steal the stone for her only because you like the look of her ass. The wise man has said, nice asses turn men into asses.
I gotta remember that one.
Come on, Jigen.
No, he's right. Bad enough that your infantile addiction to this woman has consistently rendered you an unreliable business partner. But even now, as she conspires with others to have us killed, you continue to defend her. It shows that...
Please, go on. Shows what?
That you are a weak man of no conviction and no honor.
The lines are pretty consistent across all four dubs. However, I feel the streamlined dub had the better going on. The way he presents his lines, it seems like he wants to deliver a really bitter truth to Lupin, but also give him the respect and dignity that he deserves.
You mean all females have a wicked nature?
The thing I can't stand is that secret indecent intention of yours.
Forget it. That's one thing you can never cure.
And just what are you to Lupin? If you were a true friend, you should have cured his immoral habit years ago.
Don't get hysterical, you crazy man.
You're jealous, both of you.
I warn you, abandon these indecent cravings for the sake of your soul.
Save it. You'll never change him by preaching at him, Goemon.
And you, what kind of friend are you, Jigen? You just encourage him. You treat it as some kind of joke. You're worse than he is.
Hey, I don't have to listen to this.
True. That sure was a wise guy.
Your degenerate mockery is getting dangerously irritating.
Goemon, you ain't gonna get anywhere, so give up like I have.
And you dare to represent yourself as his friend. Willingness to amputate without ether is the test of friendship, and you have failed it.
God, you're such a boring schmuck.
Come on. You're being a little bit too harsh, aren't you, Goemon?
It is only natural for you to defend the actions of Lupin, especially since you are responsible for some of his sins as well.
What? Why, you pious jerk?
What?
I just love Jigen's line in the Toho dub. Like before, though, I think Streamline handled this the best.
I've been wanting to cut that hat of yours.
What's that mean?
I want to see if you're hiding a bald head.
Well, now. Want to fight?
Oh, all right, all right. I realize I was wrong. I'll reform. I promise I'll drop Margot like a hot potato. Now, let's change the mood and leave.
Be careful I don't sink my blade into that hat of yours.
Yeah? You just try it.
On second thought, I'd probably hit solid rock.
That That does it. Hey now, hold on, calm down. You're right. Fujiko is history, okay? I'll drop her, I swear, and that's a fact. No more women, okay? So let's head for the coast.
The time has come for me to slice off your hat.
Just try.
We shall see how little brain you have underneath it.
Okay, try your luck.
All right, kiddies, calm down. Yes, you're right. I did get carried away, but no more. It's strictly business from now on. I'll never think about Fujiko again.
I've always wanted to slash that ridiculous hat of yours.
Huh? What was that?
Guys, come on!
It's probably hiding a bald spot as big as your ass.
Now that's it.
Hey, wait, come on, look! You're right, okay? I'll turn over a brand new leaf. The woman is history. Word of honor. Now shake hands and let's move on, okay?
It's interesting how in both the Toho and the Pioneer dub, Goemon claims that Jigen has a bald spot under that head, while in the Streamline and the manga dubs, they go more for the idea that Jigen doesn't have a brain under it.
Lupin, where are you going?
If we go over that mountain along the border, we'll get to the Atlantic Ocean.
Idiot! That's more than 100 kilometers.
Just the width of a finger on one of those world maps.
No, but how are we gonna get there, huh? Lupin, the coast is 100 kilometers from here.
A couple of inches on the map, that's all. How long can that take us?
Get out of here, werewolf, huh?
We're gonna head for the ocean.
But that means crossing Valley Mort, Death Valley to you.
Don't worry, on my map is only an itsy-bitsy desert.
One little question. Where are we going?
Like water, Lupin always gravitates towards the ocean.
Damn it, Lupin. Do you have any idea how far that is?
Hey, it's only a little inch on the atlas. Sheesh.
This union doesn't last for very long. Lupin, Goemon, and Jigen all go their separate ways, with Goemon and Jigen taken in by the CIA, while Lupin has been taken by Mamo.
Stand up! Special Presidential Aide, Mr. Kissinger.
Probably a joke on Henry Kissinger.
What did he say?
He said, this guy is the mastermind for the biggest man in the world.
Stand up. You're in the presence of a very important government official.
I stand for no one.
Me neither. Not even for Heinrich Kissinger, special advisor to and the brains behind the President of the United States.
Seems like Jigen is a lot more well-informed in this dub.
Attention! This is Special Presidential Advisor, Mr. Kissinger. What's special about him?
Have you heard his accent? Apart from that, he masterminds the world's #1 Big Bang show.
Stand up. Now, this man is the special assistant to the president. I said stand.
Yes, we heard you.
Look, you guys went to a lot of trouble to get us here. Now why don't we just cut the crap and get to the point? Yes.
Mr. President, do you really have good control of your government? Do you realize I'm being blackmailed? Blackmailed? I am to supply all secret technical data on biochemistry, cytology, gene technology, and if I refuse, they'll attack with an atomic missile.
I've been threatened the same way. To prove that they really mean it, they have already destroyed several of our communication satellites.
I must remind you that it has nothing to do with us.
I do realize it.
Then you think that man is...
That's right. It is I, Mamo.
I have to be perfectly honest here. I know from the other dubs that that's supposed to be 3 distinct voices, but it just sounds like 2 people to me.
Mr. President, my country is being blackmailed. I hope your government is not at fault.
Now, calm down, Boris. That's ridiculous.
Whoever it is demands that we hand over all of our secret scientific data on cryogenics and gene splicing. If we do not, he threatens to attack us with nuclear warheads.
Well, he's not one of ours. We've been threatened the same way. In fact, he's already knocked out 2 of our communication satellites.
You do not think that we...
No. The Cold War's over after all. Isn't it, Boris?
Oh, why, yes, of course. But then who is this madman?
If I may, gentlemen, I am Mamo.
Now there's a voice I can recognize even if I was deaf. Robert Axelrod, which, if you've seen Digimon Adventure, also did the voice of Vadermon and Wizardmon.
Mr. President, I want your
assurance that the CIA is not responsible. I am being blackmailed.
How's that, Mr. Secretary?
I am to hand over all secret data on biochemistry, cytology, and gene technology. If I refuse, my country will suffer a nuclear attack.
Hey, I've been threatened the same way. And to prove they're serious, they've already destroyed several of our communication satellites.
Well, it was not us, Mr. President.
I know that, Mr. Secretary. You couldn't hit one of our satellites if you tried.
Now, wait a minute.
Don't choke on your borscht. The important thing is to find out who's behind this.
I shall tell you. It is I, Mamo.
Seems like the President in the Streamline dub and the manga dub use a very similar voice. What's interesting is in the Pioneer dub, the President sounds like a bad impersonation of George W. Bush, and Mamo sounds really different. Bear in mind, this is the dub that I saw first, so the other Mamos sounded really weird to me.
Well,
Mr. President, I must protest in the strongest possible terms the blackmailing of my administration by yours.
Mr. Premier, I'm afraid I don't...
Please, don't insult us further. We've been threatened with nuclear attack if we don't hand over all classified research in biochemistry, cytology, and biogenetics.
Mr. Premier, we just lost 2 communications satellites after receiving similar demands and, frankly, the capability for such a strike.
Mr. President, surely you're not accusing us.
Mr. Premier, I don't know what to think.
What has your intelligence turned up?
Gentlemen, if I may interrupt.
Who's that?
My name is Mamo.
Now, if the movie took place in the same year the movie came out, roughly about 1978, the US president at the time would have been Jimmy Carter. I don't claim to be an expert, but I feel that the Toho and the Streamline dubs sound the closest to what Jimmy Carter would have sounded like.
It is not necessary to explain to you who these people are. We are interested only in the blackmailer who broke in on the hotline. And they were having a secret conversation.
That's right. It is I, Mamo. The greatest brain in the world. A prophet. Or you may call me God.
God? You must be insane.
For one who calls himself God, your requests are pretty weird.
Requests? This is an order. If you really know what is going on in the world right now, you should know better than this.
The first 2 voices will remain unidentified. They are of no concern. What we want is the identity of the man who broke in on their top-secret conversation. This blackmailer who calls himself Mamo.
That's right, Mamo. Some have called me a prophet, others a god.
That is lunacy.
That's an understatement. You can't believe we'll go along with this. You have no choice. I know every move you'll make before you know it yourselves. Why, I even know about that little floozy you keep in the stunno pool, Mr. President. How would you like the world to find out about her? Well, how dare you?
Flussy? What is this Flussy?
Just when it was getting good. The rest of it is immaterial.
I cannot reveal who the first voices we heard belong to, but it's the third voice, which is obviously the blackmailers that I am interested in. Who broke in on this secure hotline conversation?
I shall tell you. It is I, Mamo. The greatest intellect in the history of the world. Some call me a prophet. You may address me as God.
God, you must be insane.
If you're God, I gotta tell you, your requests are pretty unoriginal. Not to say banal.
Request? I'm giving you an order. And if you care about Main Street, cherry pie, and dynasty, as you're always saying, you'll jump to it.
Go on.
No. You do not have security clearance A14 without which the material is too sensitive to be communicated to you at this moment in time.
Now.
Yeah.
The identification of that third voice is a matter of the utmost importance, not only to this administration, but to the entire world. Please listen carefully now.
My name is Mamo. I am the living embodiment of intelligence, a prophet, a god to you.
You're a madman.
He's a terrorist. Whoever he is, what kind of a god threatens humanity with universal apocalypse if he doesn't get his way?
I heard you weren't much of a student in your school days, Mr. President. But apparently, even the Bible you thump so shamelessly is the Reader's Digest edition.
Is that it?
The rest is classified, but as you heard the President himself confirm, this terrorist, whoever he is, clearly has the capacity to carry out his deadly threats.
This is going to be the last scene I'm going to prepare. Lupin escapes from Mamo's prison to find a lot of strange people roaming around the rather lavish estate.
Excuse me, but could you... Heil Hitler! Well, now, you never know these days.
Excuse me, officer. Yeah.
Still couldn't lose that accent from Fugiko's date, I see.
First Napoleon, then Hitler? It's gotta be a dream, because none of it's true.
Excuse me, could you tell me the way to Waterloo?
Stubb certainly shows why Napoleon had the look of somebody who wanted to kill. I wouldn't want to be reminded of my greatest defeat either.
Heil Schickelgruber!
Okay, I actually had to look this one up. Lupin isn't completely wrong by saying Heil Schreckelgruber. From my understanding, Adolf's father, Elios, was born out of wedlock to the name Schreckelgruber. At the age of 40, though, he changed it to Heidler, but on legal documents it was spelled Hitler. Quite an esoteric reference, if you ask me.
Interesting. Bit frightening, too.
Excuse me, could you... Heil mein Führer! No way. It can't be true.
And are you looking for something?
You're the head doctor? I'd like to find the host of this party.
This is not a mental hospital, and we are not having a costume ball either. These are all the actual people, just as you see them here, Lupin.
Looking for something?
Yeah, whoever's in charge of this loony bin. Hey, what is this, costume day for the inmates?
Oh, such wit. This is neither an insane asylum nor a masquerade ball. Those particular individuals you have met are not imitations, Lupin, but the real thing.
Are you looking for someone?
Are you the head shrink? I'd like to meet whoever's hosting this party.
This is not a hospital, and it's not a costume ball either. The people you've met, Wolf, are actually the people you've met.
Are you looking for something?
Are you the hospital director, or just another one of the inmates?
You seem to be under the misapprehension that this is some sort of an asylum for the insane. I assure you, nothing could be further from the truth. Mr. Lupin.
Pretty consistent. However, I like how Alan Wegner says, the people you have met are the people you have met.
I am Mamo. I now have the wise man's stone.
You're Margot's client.
The reason I didn't take the stone personally was that I wanted to know you. I'm satisfied with the result. You are the greatest thief on the face of the earth.
Oh, yes, I know who you are. And in case you haven't guessed who I am Mamo.
Yeah, you're Fujiko's boss.
I hired her to bring me the Philosopher's Stone, and now at last it's mine, no thanks to you. Still, I wanted to meet you. You are the greatest thief on the face of the earth.
Gee, tell me something I don't know.
My name is Mamo. Yes, I know who you are. And Fujiko no doubt mentioned me to you.
So then you're Fujiko's boss.
I now have the Wiseman Stone, but the reason I employed you to steal it rather than doing so myself is that I love seeing excellence at work. Congratulations on being the world's finest thief.
Yes, I am Mamo. I've obtained the Philosopher's Stone now.
You're the big scary bad guy?
Not gonna lie, those were my exact words when I first heard Mike Werman's performance of the character.
Of course, I could have done it myself, but I simply wanted to test your mettle. Your reputation is well deserved. You may indeed be the greatest thief ever.
Once again, very similar lines. But I still find it odd that the Toho dub and the manga dub call it the Wise Man Stone. I think a lot more people know it as the Philosopher's Stone. Then again, I guess a philosopher could be considered a wise man, so maybe this is just a case of over-translation.
I already know that, but I'm not working for you, and I never will. I haven't forgotten your compensation. I intend to give you the greatest gift of eternal life. Oh, come off it. There's nothing good about living so long, you degenerated kid. I do feel sorry for your foolish, extra-unordinary conceptions. Stop using those big words. Just give me back the stone.
Look, I'm not working for you if that's what you have in mind.
Actually, I've been thinking about your compensation for the stone, and I've decided to give you the greatest gift of all, eternal life.
How thrilling, but if you don't mind, I'd rather you just gave me back the stone, you little wacko.
The prophet is always regarded as a madman by those too backward to see the truth.
Well then, you must be getting used to it by now. Come on, hit it!
Hell, I knew that all along. But I wasn't working for you, and I'm not going to.
I have an offer in mind which I think you will not be able to refuse. An offer not of money, but everlasting life.
Will you give me an advance? Listen, I've been around much too long to believe that kind of bullshit.
If that is how you respond, it seems that granting this boon to you would be a total waste.
Oh, shucks. Why don't give me the stone back and call it quits, okay?
Yeah, but it's not real good for business when people rip me off.
What would you say if I told you that, by way of compensation, I was prepared to make you an offer of eternal life?
I'd say that when it comes to living, more ain't necessarily more.
I see you personify the type of genius that's incapable of rational thought.
All I want is that stone back. Now just you...
Seems like the sentiment is all the same across all four dubs. Lupin doesn't want eternal life, and Mamo regrets this by using really big words. I agree most with the Pioneer Lupin. I don't think of more life as a gift, but a curse. After 100 years, I don't see much of a reason for sticking around any longer.
Ha 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 ha! Don't be so timid now. Ha 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 ha! Damn! Oh, this trick with the hard glass is old stuff now. Just give me oh, smarts. Where are you, Mamo? This time you really got me angry, you know. I'll fix you!
Men like you never trust what they cannot see.
Oh, yeah? Okay, pal, enough of the sight gags.
You're a lunatic! You said it yourself, I'm the greatest thief on earth! I'll get that stone, count on it!
Eternal life would have advantages.
Who needs it to walk on glass? Okay, that's it. Go ahead and laugh, Mamo, but you've got me real mad now, which is a dangerous thing to do to me.
Something the matter, Mr. Lupin? No? Well, come along then.
I was giving you more credit than you deserve. Oh, me and my big mouth. Hey, Mamo! You think that's so funny? Well, you'll be laughing out of the other side of your mouth, you hear me?
With other dub comparisons, I would often have a reel of epic scenes that I want to show. However, this video is getting kinda long. I'll end with this. While I love the discotheque version for having all 4 dubs, I feel the Pioneer dub not only has the better cover art, but also the better DVD menu. And with the discotheque version, it's really just a static image of the cover itself, while the Lupin III 78 theme plays. Now just on that aspect alone, which one would you rather watch? Well, that's all I got for now. If there's more scenes you would like to see compared, feel free to leave a comment. Until next time, keep having fun.